it took me a year to find you, and I had been on other platforms, and I am sick and tired of, I have a question, I have to play ping pong email, right? Ping pong, it takes me 2 weeks to get something simple, which, I can jump on a support call. Brandon says, well, you need to do this. Click, click, click. I'm like, holy crap, he fixed it in 2 minutes. But in other platforms, they just want to support you by email. And there's nothing like a live conversation. I'm old school. I pick up the phone. Yeah, I still got my headset on, right? I am old school. I pick up the phone. I talk on the phone. I return phone calls. So I believe things can get answered in 2 minutes instead of 2 weeks in a conversation.
Vickie, you're in Scottsdale?
I'm actually in Rio Verde. So just up the
I'm in Scottsdale.
right. Yeah. So we're neighbors. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, I wanted to do a meetup. I think that's good to know that you're there. I want to do a meetup with lead hackers.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah. So I'd like to do that. I'll set something up. That's cool. So how long have you been with us?
I think like February.
It's February. Okay.
I don't know. It's been a while. I also do commercial. So I spent the summer getting lead hacker set up for my commercial business.
Right.
And so now Eric got me going on Facebook ads. So today I got my first DSCR application.
Nice.
So super stoked about that. And really helping with systems. Because I'm a one-man band, right? So I'm the only loan officer. I'm the broker owner, so I do everything.
Right.
So systems and automation is absolutely critical because I can't do everything by myself.
Right.
I can't be everywhere every minute. So the automations that Eric is helping me with is like amazing. So in the Plus group, we have, and I totally love it because people come there and they go, I need this. So for example, Scott showed up last week, says, I need a form that I can use to collect information for a DSCR or fix and flip. So we spent the week hacking that out and automating it. And then I copied it for construction loans because I do a lot of construction loans.
Right.
So he gives me, and the group gives me ideas on how to apply it to my business,
Right.
which I think is, for me, the biggest takeaway, especially because Eric is a loan officer. So, I know you and Brandon and Frank, they all know Lead Hackers, the platform, like inside out, upside down, and backwards. But Eric takes it to the next level because he understands our business, the challenges we face.
Right.
He comes up with some cool ideas on how to use things. I'm like, oh, you could do this, you could do that. And Rich and I are going like, we're like little kids in a candy shop. We're like, we never thought of that. We could.
I always talk to people about that. I'm like, hey, you guys don't understand. Like, yeah, look, Lead Hackers is cool. And like the coaching calls, you're going to get a ton of support. But I think there's something to be said about, when we first started Lead Hackers Plus, people, Eric used to just be our normal coach where
I know. I was on his calls every day.
Yeah. And people joined Lead Hackers Plus just to be coached by Eric. They didn't even know what it was. And they're like, well, if Eric is only going to be coaching on Lead Hackers Plus, then that's where I need to be. And so I think there's something to be said about getting coached by somebody who's doing the same thing that you're doing, like in the trenches every single day, right? And so you've been with us since February, but how long have you been on Lead Hackers Plus?
Oh, I don't know, a month.
A month? Okay, gotcha. And so you see the differences, right, between the coaching. Like, what would you say the main differences are between the normal coaching codes that we have for just every community member and the Lead Hackers Plus calls?
Well, for example, Scott came back last week and he says, I need a form. And, he said, here's what I need the form to do, right? He wants to be able to send out the form to borrowers or even use it while he's on the phone. But it's like a mini application.
Right.
All right. And so what's different is that we all came together and said, all right, we're like, well, let's figure it out. What information do we need to collect? And then Eric, with his technical knowledge, help us put it together. But as a group, we figured out, we even got a chat GPT formula in there, figuring out the debt service ratio. That's going way deeper than we would do on a Brandon call, for example.
Right.
And we did it together because we were all like, oh, contributing to creating it. And then he sent it out to all of us so we could use it. So that's the depth. I mean, I don't know how, I'm sure there's more.
Well, you get to put your handprint on the system too, right? You get to put your handprint on the system. I always say this, the best CRM is the one that you use, and you're much more likely to use a CRM if it tailors to your needs. So I love that you're in a group with like-minded individuals, right? You're all working together towards a common goal, and you're all giving your opinion and inputs. You guys are basically like the artists, and then Eric is bringing it to life, right? He's bringing your ideas to life and allowing you guys to really put your imprint on your own system, which I think is great, right? You're able to get a little bit more customizations, because we tell people all the time, hey, the system's the system. We don't customize anything. But for Lead Hackers Plus, you can go into that. You could go into more detail and do stuff, work with other people who, Scott Seltz is crushing it. I mean, that guy is writing so many loans a month. He's killing it. And so being able to also just be on calls with these other people who are doing well is obviously going to elevate your game a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing I like about our Plus group is we do things side by side. So we're all logged in. And so we all created the form together, click here, drag that field, put this, label it this, blah, 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 blah. And so at the end of the session, we had a tool that we could use, right? Instead of just, and I get it on the other calls, like Brandon sent me an article, which I've deleted or whatever, but he says, read this and you'll be able to figure it out. I'm like, okay, well, unfortunately, it takes 3 days for me to get to it. But on the Plus call, at the end of an hour, I'm like, okay, I got something I could use today and I don't have to go back to it. I could just implement it.
Right.
And I think as a business owner, single, like I said, I'm cook, chief, bottle washer. Sometimes I don't have time to go back and figure it out. And then I lose too much because I'm like, what did he say to do? What did Brandon say? Go here, do that. I'm like, then I have to get back on another call and figure it all out again. So it takes more. So anyway, so Eric,
more done in less time.
Yes.
Hackers Plus calls.
Yes, that is exactly what it said. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. That's exactly right. I walk away with a tool I can use right away. So
right.
I got some. So I'm an expert now at QR codes, creating forms. But again, I think the extra part is how to use some of this stuff.
Right.
It's
a powerful tool, but if you don't know how to use it, well, then it's not powerful, right? And so let me ask you this. The two main components of Lead Hackers Plus, aside from, we know the coaching's amazing. I try and tell people that all the time. They're like, yeah. But
yeah, you need to take care of Eric, because if Eric goes, so does Plus. Tell it. That's why we're there.
If you have, let's say you have somebody who's not a part of Lead Hackers Plus, right? They're on the fence. What would you say to somebody who's on the fence about working with Lead Hackers Plus?
Well, that's what I tell everybody. I says it's the support. It took me a year to find you, and I had been on other platforms, and I am sick and tired of, I have a question, I have to play ping pong email, right? Ping pong, it takes me 2 weeks to get something simple, which, I can jump on a support call. Brandon says, well, you need to do this. Click, click, click. And I'm like, holy crap, he fixed it in 2 minutes. But in other platforms, they just want to support you by email. And there's nothing like a live conversation. I'm old school. I pick up the phone. Yeah, I still got my headset on, right? I am old school. I pick up the phone. I talk on the phone. I return phone calls. So I believe things can get answered in 2 minutes instead of 2 weeks in a conversation. Yeah. And again, I don't have 2 weeks. And by the time 2 weeks goes by, I can't even remember what the original question was. Right. So well, I wasn't using other platforms because I couldn't get it set up.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the support. I show people the calendar. I go, look at this calendar. I show, the event calendar. I said, these are all live Zoom calls.
Right.
And they go, what? I go, yeah, exactly. It's all you.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. We just try and over deliver on support. And, let me
do it. You kill it. Doc.
Thank you. So let me ask you this. When you first started Lead Hackers Plus, you have the AI chatbot and the video ads. Like did you notice a huge difference? Like, was it like, oh man, this is different. Like, I don't have to go back and forth with my leads now via text. The AI chatbot's taking care of that. Like, what was that experience like?
Well, I guess the chat box bot, I'm still learning what that really is and does, but as I see leads come in, I see it's answering questions for me. I'm like, oh, well, that's helpful because I'm not sitting at my desk all the time, right? So I think that's hugely helpful, and it keeps the conversation going and keeps the borrower.
Don't worry about seed the lead.
Right, because that's been a big struggle for me being by myself, right? Because
I think it's a big struggle for everyone.
Oh, you're going to laugh. So I wrote this. Here, I'll show you I got a little sign I wrote.
What?
Oh, it said, "Eat the lead." I put it right here in front of me. I said, I have got to get better at that because I'm paying for all these leads. And I'm like, I don't have time to be playing around with text messages. And, and so I did a custom ad. Eric helped me put it together. And actually, I was so proud of myself. I did the funnel and the automation. He tweaked it, of course. But I'm doing one for all the hurricane folks in Florida.
Right.
I have a special program just for those people.
Right.
And so the AI chat is chatting with them and helping me qualify them because unfortunately I can't help people who are in a mobile home or need water or food or community services. So, that's time. So it's taking care of those people. So I don't have to be bogged down with those kind of conversations.
Right.
So yeah, so I'm still learning, but it's totally cool.
I mean, it seems like you've learned a lot. I mean, as far as like being able to like put your own funnels together and create your own ads and stuff like that, like that's amazing. That is
I couldn't do that.
99% of mortgage brokers can't do.
No, and I don't want to get bogged down building stuff.
Right.
Because I need to get on the phone and, stand, smile, and dial.
Right.
But I think, and what I like about the Plus group, Eric was kind of going fast on some building some of the stuff, but then he shared it with everybody. I was like, all right, that works. I at least understand the basic mechanics of how he created it, what it does, and more importantly, how to implement it.
Right.
So,
that's the important part.
I didn't have to get bogged down in going back and building it myself. But I contributed to, here's the information we need, here's the formula, here, whatever, in building it. And I completely understand how it works. And now I have it bookmarked so I can send it out. I have a QR code for it. So when I speak, right, I can say, hey, you got a deal you want me to look at? Here's the QR code, fill out this simple form. And when I get back to my office, it'll be in my inbox. Right. So totally cool tool. Like I said, and I copied it for construction. So this week we'll tweak it and make it, a well-oiled machine and share it with the group. So
that's amazing.
So yeah, so I like the sharing. Because we're all friendly competitors at the end of the day, and that's all good. I believe there's enough for everybody, even though right now we're all struggling to make anything happen. This too shall pass.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now so I feel like I've really been building my infrastructure. So when the volume does come, I'm ready.
Right.
I'm ready.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're going to be ready. If we have another refinance boom, you're going to crush that. Right. You're going to be so much more prepared than everybody else. And so it's good. I'm glad to hear that Eric is doing a great job. He's awesome. He's a great coach. Eric, the beauty of this is Eric was one of you guys.
I know. And
amazing.
And really, he has so much patience. It's amazing because we ask all the same questions. He doesn't go, hey, we already talked about that. He goes, oh, well, let's talk about that. He's like, well, let's talk about that. Or let me show you, share your screen. So I totally love that he's so patient and doesn't get impatient with it. Because, we do it once. He's probably done it 1,000 times. So until I have the muscle memory, right, it still may be a question, but we're evolving, and so is the platform. So, and so I like And I totally love and I totally agree. And I was waiting for somebody to see this because I work with borrowers have multiple deals going on. So instead of putting all the property and loan information in the contacts, it's now in going to get moved to opportunities. I said, that makes total sense. Because I was like, I got too many properties for the same borrower and I have no place to put them or track them or keep track of it. And so again, because Eric is using it, right? He's bumping into the same challenges we're bumping into.
Right.
So that's again what he brings to the table.
Yeah.
Super
amazing. Amazing. Well, Vickie, I really appreciate your time. This has been an awesome interview. I know.
So that's my lead hackers list on that flip chart, by the way. You see that messy flip chart?
What's that list for? For what?
So those are all the things I want to get done on lead hacker.
Oh, gotcha.
I became overwhelmed, so I just made a list on my flip chart.
I love that you're that bought in. I love it. That's all.
Yeah. And then I cross them off with a big green marker. I was like, oh, we got that working. We got that working. Right. So I don't lose track of what I want lead hackers to do for me.
Right. That's amazing. Oh, I love that. Love that.
Yep. So there you have it.
Yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate you hopping on the call. And I'm going to get with Eric. We're just going to keep working and figure out how we can make Lead Hackers Plus a better product for you. And then I have one more question. Yeah, I have one more question for you. So you've been with us since February. Have you closed anything yet?
I went 8 months without even a prequal. I closed my first loan in September. I closed my second loan in October. I'm actually working now on a hard money loan. It looks like I tried to go conventional DSCR, so it looks like it's going to go hard money, unfortunately. But I just got off the phone with my first Facebook person who actually. So I'm also a member of Steve Scholl's coaching club group, performance coaching. He coaches real estate agents mostly. I'm kind of the unicorn because I'm the only lender.
Right.
But he has this whole thing in his book, The Full Fee Agent, about, am I the fool or the favorite?
Right.
Right. Because if I'm the fool, they just are, what do you call it? Tire kickers. So this guy was willing to provide information, right? Cooperating. That's one of the rules to be a favorite, right? So he's totally cooperating, providing information. I just took a mortgage application over the phone. So, and it looks like he just sent me his driver's license while we were talking. So, hopefully, and he's got lots of properties. So hopefully I'm his favorite, right? I feel like I'm on a horse. Right? Am I going to be the favorite to win? So, but he talks about that, right? So a lot of the leads, of course, initially are tire kickers. They're not qualified. Like I said, I'm getting people who want to, are looking for groceries, bottled water. I said, sadly, I can't help you with those things. But if you want to rebuild your house or buy a house, move, I can help you with any and all of those things.
Yeah.
So.
Don't forget to run text campaigns. Have Eric show you how to run those text campaigns so you can go back in your list and see if you could.
Well, he had me do that. So in my campaign so I put together the whole flow for the hurricane. We call it the hurricane ad. So I have 8 emails that go out, but then he showed me where to insert text messages. So the text, at least on that campaign, they're going out as well. So yeah. But that's the whole thing I love about the text. So, right, with like my past clients, and then I have a whole bunch of people that I pre-qualified, in the last 2-3 years. I can just go in and, because I have them in a smart list, right? Click them all. I said, okay, Lee, because somebody emailed me and said, can you do a refinance? I was like, holy crap, people don't know I can do refinances. So I immediately sent out a text message to all my clients. I said, yes, I can help you with a refinance. I don't know that now is the best time, but call me if you
goes down, right?
When you think you want to do it, right? So it was easy. Boom, 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 boom. I didn't have to belabor over email marketing and the content and create it. I just on the fly, boom, 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 out the door. So 2 people called me. They go, you do refis? I go, yes. What's going on? So we had conversations. So so that makes, right, as a single owner, right, loan officer doing everything, although now I'm working on a processor, that made it super simple for me to communicate with my past clients in 5 minutes. Literally 5 minutes. I got communication out to them. So the smart groups make it great. And so, yeah, I can send them a text, bada bing, bada boom. They all got a quick message. I've been doing that with my pre-qual group. Same thing. I closed. Oh, that was the second loan I did this year. I was surprised myself. I did 100% financing. My agent got a 6% concessions. So that's $12,000. And then I got another lender credit, $7,000. I covered all the closing costs and my customer walked away with $1,000 refund. I said, so I let everybody know. Heck. So I went to all my pre-quals. I said, I know you don't have a down payment, but you don't need one. Sure. Ding, 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 ding. So I love the text. Yeah, super fast. So yeah, it makes me more efficient and more effective because I used to belabor over MailChimp. I don't do email marketing anymore. Nobody pays attention to it. And it's
a low open rate.
Well, yeah. Well, actually, the real estate, it's a whole long story. I was actually working with a Keller Williams group down in Tempe. So I had like 400 real estate agents, and my open rate was pretty high, but they weren't sending me any business.
Right.
And I said, and the shop I was working with closed, but I said, why am I sharing all my good stuff with you when you're not sending me any business? Right? I'm showing them how to structure deals and get things done. So they're just taking my ideas and taking them somewhere else. So I stopped sending them to them because I said, you don't deserve my experience.
Well, hey,
anyway,
and I appreciate you hopping on the call. I'll let you know if we do have a meetup with lead hackers.
All right, that'd be totally fun. Because what I'm going to do is working with a couple of my account executives. I think I'm going to start my own investment group. I know there's others, but I don't know. I have an attorney lined up and a title person, so I'm kind of working it out to see what I can do to figure that out. So
yeah,
awesome.
I
don't know. Anyway, all right, Alex. Well, enjoy chatting with you. Make it a great day. It's going to be 80 today. Go for a walk.
will. Thanks, Vickie.
All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.